Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Canes Lane YouTube channel. I'm the host of today's program, Alex, and I'm going to be talking about Patrick Mahomes signing the richest contract in sports history today, a 10-year, $450 million contract. Now, this is a historic contract for a couple of reasons. First of all, it is the richest contract in NFL history by far. The second closest contract is Matt Ryan's contract, which was 5 years, $150 million, that was signed in 2019. Not only is it the richest contract in NFL history, it's the richest contract in sports history, narrowly edging out Mike Trout's fully guaranteed 12-year, $426 million contract that was also signed in 2019. Now, we need to talk about some of the details of this contract. So, unlike other sports, baseball, basketball, where you're kind of guaranteed your money as far as your contract goes, not all of this is guaranteed. It's the NFL. It's a lot different. But Patrick Mahomes has a historically high $140 million injury guarantee. So if Patrick Mahomes got injured and never played another snap of football, he'd get paid $140 million. Folks, Matt Ryan's contract, which was the highest contract in NFL history, was $150 million. That was the highest contract in NFL history as of yesterday. So Patrick Mahomes has $140 million guaranteed, which is only $10 million less than Matt Ryan's whole contract, which is just absolutely insane. Now, branching into another question that a lot of people have, is Patrick Mahomes worth that money? I think if the deal was 5 years, people would not be asking this question. Because if he signed a 5-year, $200 million contract or whatever the case may be, people would be saying, oh, of course he's worth the money. He took him to a Super Bowl. He's obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. The last 2 seasons have shown that. But the fact that it's a 10-year contract, people kind of scratch their head at that. They say that's a long time to be paying a player, and a lot can happen. You have to pay Patrick Mahomes. You have to. I mean, based on the first 2 seasons, let's take a look at some of his numbers. So we can kind of go ahead and toss out his rookie season because he really didn't play. It was almost kind of like a redshirt year for him. He played 1 game, and he was 22 of 35 for 284 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. He didn't really get a chance to shine. He was backing up Alex Smith. The 2018 season, he got the full go and started every single game. He led the team to a 12-4 record. He completed 383 passes on 580 attempts with a 66% completion percentage, 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and oh yeah, won the NFL MVP. Guys, this is a revolutionary talent. I mean, this is unbelievable. In his first full season of NFL football, he takes them all the way to the AFC Championship game and is dueling with Tom Brady, and they narrowly missed the Super Bowl in his first full season starting. So not only is he putting up great numbers, he's a winner. In my opinion, if you cut out the NFL rule where you can't pay a player, like extend their contract until after the 3rd season, he could have gotten paid after his 2nd season. You have an NFL MVP season like that and nearly take your team to the Super Bowl, I think you're getting paid. But he comes into this next season, and he has 26 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He gets hurt. They're a little bit shaky during the regular season. Some things happen in New England, and Kansas City gets the first place in the playoffs for the AFC. They start their opening game against the Houston Texans. The Texans jump out to a 24-0 lead. Now, if the Chiefs lose this game, and it's in dominant fashion, I think the conversation's a lot different. But that's not what happened. Patrick Mahomes leads them back. He goes 23 of 35 for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns. And ends up winning the game 51-31. That's crazy. I've never seen a quarterback be able to just turn the switch and completely bring a team back like that. I mean, it's almost like what Steph Curry does in the NBA. Like, one team has the advantage. They were down 24-0, and, I was thinking in the back of my mind, I was like, well, they got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. I mean, they could, they're still in this thing. And then sure enough, by the end of the 2nd quarter, it's 28-24 Kansas City. So in the next game, he comes out in the AFC Championship game, a game that he narrowly lost the year before. It's not the New England Patriots against him this time. It's the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans jump out to a 10-0 lead against Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes leads them back. Tennessee scores again, makes it 17-7. And then the rest of the way, it's just domination. Patrick Mahomes finishes the game 23 of 35, 294 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he's made it to a Super Bowl in his 2nd season as a starting quarterback. That would have been impressive in itself. With how up and down of a season it was for Kansas City and then a couple of comeback games here, I mean, you could have made an argument to pay him even if they didn't win the Super Bowl. And it looked like they weren't going to win that Super Bowl. San Francisco, a very good football team, gets up on a 20-10 lead on Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, what does he do? He brings them back again for a 3rd time in a row in the playoffs. And if I'm being honest, He didn't have the best game as far as stat line. He was 42, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But he made the plays when it mattered, which is what Jimmy Garoppolo didn't do in that football game. So Patrick Mahomes is a winner. And he won Kansas City their first title in 50 years. I'm going to put this into perspective, how impressive this Super Bowl win was for Patrick Mahomes. He is currently tied for second as the youngest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. He's tied with Tom Brady, who was also 24 years old. Number 1 on that list is Big Ben. Big Ben played awful in his first Super Bowl. His passer rating was 22.6. If he had just thrown an incomplete pass on every single play, his passer rating would have been higher. So all these factors taken into consideration, I think it makes sense for Kansas City to lock up Patrick Mahomes for the remainder of his prime. You can say what you want about the money, you can say what you want about the contract itself with how many years it is, but from what I've seen about Patrick Mahomes, the guy's a winner and he's a special talent. So I think it makes the utmost sense for them to not want another team to get their hands on it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at CanesLane1970. That's where we'll post the majority of our channel information about future uploads, such as podcasts, reaction videos, and etc. If you liked what you heard, maybe leave a like for us. Refer us to a friend. We really appreciate all the exposure we get, and thank you all again for everything.